Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna Nama Prabhu Ki Jai. Welcome all of you for the 64th session of Soulful Japa. So let us start with our training round, chanting with Srila Prabhupada, with the golden commands, reminding us to chant and hear exactly the same chanting, without missing even one. So, can start. Namaste.
The process is that you chant Hare Krishna and exactly the same sound you hear.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.
You simply hear. When you say Hare Krishna, you try to hear the very sound.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.
Simply chant Hare Krishna and try to hear the sound. That's all.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare.
When you chant, you must hear also.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.
While chanting, you must hear. Hare Krishna, you must give attention to hear.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.
As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, you hear it, then your mind becomes locked up.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.
So today we'll go to some very practical lesson on japa. We've all practiced concurrent chanting cum hearing, which means chanting and hearing the very same chant. Chanting and exactly hearing the same sound When we chant, we should hear. While we chant, we should hear. As soon as we chant, we should hear. If you chant and hear every word, these are all the golden commands of Srila Prabhupada. And we trained our mind. During the training time, the mind kept going towards thinking. And Srila Prabhupada has given us the diamond commands to deal with this situation. He said simply, don't worry, don't try to withdraw the mind. You simply again give your chesta, chant loudly and hear. Every time the mind goes away, don't bother about the mind. You simply, when you understand that, simply chant and hear loudly. In this way, over a period of now 5-6 weeks, nearly 6 weeks, we are practicing concurrent chanting, come hearing. Then to support this, we added tasking. And that tasking is between the beats. Chanting, come hearing is on the beats. So chanting, come hearing, then tasking, again chanting, come hearing, then tasking. In this way, tasking means to build up, accumulate the association of the Lord, without allowing the mind to drain away by going somewhere else. So that tasking with tasking pleasure, chanting come hearing with Krishna and Ahlada, or chanting and chanting with delight, hearing with relish, and enthusiastically tasking with hope for the kripa of the Nama Prabhu in the form of flow of Satchit Ananda, mercy, bead after bead, uninterruptedly. If you can complete the rounds, that is what we are trying to train ourselves, and more or less we are trained. Now, yesterday we discussed about so many different kinds of thinking that forcefully come into the background mind from our subconscious mind according to the forces of guna, kala and karma. And I explained that modern psychology also says more than 160 thoughts per minute keeps coming up into our conscious mind from the subconscious mind. So that's not going to stop. Background mind, it will keep coming, let us say. How do we stop that? Anyway, what are those thoughts? Yesterday we discussed different kinds of thinking that happens during the chanting. The mind tends to do these different things. They are problem solving, plan making, creative ideation, hankering and lamenting, worrying, rasaing, daydreaming. So this we have discussed elaborately. Now I will give you an analogy. Just like if you are driving, so many in the road, so many other vehicles come as an obstruction, like traffic. So it is not enough for you to simply know how to drive. Means you have to turn the steering if you want, this way, that way, clutch, everything. I'll take you to a highway and I'll teach you nicely how to drive. High speed you can drive. So today we have learnt mindful japa. It's just like learning japa in the highway. Okay. That's the best place to learn. So we have very peacefully learnt and we know how to chant come here, and many of you are ecstatic doing this. Okay. Now, real life is not always drive in the highway. Real life, especially in India, traffic. If you want to drive in the traffic, there are no traffic rules also. So our uncontrolled mind is like that, Indian traffic. Somebody will come like this, go like this, cross over, and then take left, sometimes take right. A two-wheeler will come, go like this, all kinds of things they do. So to drive in, now doing japa, these 160 thoughts per minute, they are like traffic. But we have to keep our driving. What is that? Concurrent chanting, come hearing. We have to continue doing it. And there is energy from the Nama. There is enough petrol in the car. There is enough driving power, everything. But we have to know that at least we should not be ignorant that different days, different kinds of traffic, intellectual traffic, emotional traffic, physical traffic, all of them try to disturb our concurrent chanting, come hearing. So naturally, it is not enough for you to learn only driving in the highway. Driving in the highway is a pleasure. No disturbance. Just like I took off, went to Mysore farm, and I was wanting to do 108 rounds every day. Of course, I took the traffic in my head there. But soon I learnt. But at least you see, the change of place was much helped. At least external disturbances are not there. People are not coming to my office, this thing, all these things. Whole day I could sit and do. So I went to a place where there is not too much traffic. It helped. And then with the, Prabhupada's mercy, spent that, 10 days and did my rounds. From the third day, as you know, the whole story. Those who do not know, read 37th module. And completed the rounds and discovered so many things. Most of which I am teaching you now. So in the same way, you see, every day our mental situation is different. That is the reason when we wake up, we are very fresh. At that time, at that time of the day, our mind has still not started its routine thinking to do this, do that, all those things. So the train of thoughts are also very less. It all begins little later. So that's one of the reasons why we should do our 16 rounds when there is minimum traffic in the mind. We'll have a very pleasurable drive. Still, even if you get up in the morning, there are situations where you will have some issues sometimes, some very deep emotional conflict in your mind. Somebody has hurt you and you cannot stop thinking of that person. You cannot stop thinking of, why he hurt me. And sometimes, you cannot stop thinking of, giving him back and, being vengeful and whatnot, mind won't stop thinking. And then you get up in the morning, the whole night you thought about, you get up in the morning, little better, but immediately after a little time again, I have to handle this. I cannot spare him, I cannot spare her. How can he be like this? How can she be like this? Mind starts. These are all very natural because real-time problems. Maybe real injustice has happened to you. I'm not saying you are not right in thinking. We are human beings. We'll think. Now, in the context of japa, what to do is a question. So, there is a bona fide reason for you to think. Okay. So, is it the same? Is the mind in the same state as you are doing training mindful japa on the highway you learn? No, it is not. It's in a different situation. So, is there a solution for this? Yes, there is a solution for this. Because you have learned basic driving. If you don't know driving at all, there is no use at all. You have learned how to do the basic driving, concurrent chanting, come hearing. And from concurrent chanting, come hearing, you will get the strength to give the attention. But there is one small contribution from your side which you have to do for your daily japa. You have to do something. That something is what I am going to explain to you today. I have posted a new module, part 1, part 2. It is called Divine Dependency. Our uninterrupted association of the Lord during japa. That's the whole idea, no? Whole idea of soulful japa is uninterrupted attention I should be having. That means I should stay in the association of the Lord continuously without my attention going here and there. That's the idea of, uninterrupted tasking. So that also reminds me to remind you all how important tasking is. Simply chanting and hearing is not japa. That is Shravanaman Kirtanam, isolated. One Shravanaman Kirtanam, another Shravanaman Kirtanam, another Shravanaman Kirtanam. Okay, whole day you got 24 hours. Every hour, every half an hour you do, half a mala. So tasking means it's not that. It's not same as separate 108 into 16 chantings. Tasking means one chanting come hearing builds up on the other chanting come hearing. Then that builds up on the previous 2 chanting and hearing. Previous 2. Just like you put iron in a fire, it gets heated. Let's say it goes X temperature, X plus 1 degree. Next what happens? X plus 2 degrees, it builds up. X plus 3 degrees, X plus 4 degrees, then red hot. The same way, by continuous uninterrupted association is a very big secret of high quality japa that if you want, and high quality experience if you want, it has to be uninterrupted japa. But what to do when suddenly some disturbances are there? Depends on different degrees of disturbances. The pulling power of the mind is different for different kinds of small problem. It will pull. Yeah, okay, forget it. You'll talk yourself out of it. Irrespective of whatever it may be, I'm going to give you a prescription. How you should, whenever you start your japa, how you should start your japa. Any day, any session. First thing is, of course, first you should decide, I'm going to chant 4 rounds now or 8 rounds or 16 rounds I'm going to do. You should decide. That is sadhya. What do you want to achieve in this sitting? I want to achieve that. It's very important in japa. It is not simply, I sit and I chant in as much as I can chant. No. In this sitting, how many rounds I'm going to do? If you're doubtful about 8, you say 4. And then after 4 again, you take a determination of fix a target of 4 more rounds. That is all right. But without telling your mind before japa, I am going to do this much, you are not giving enough traction to your tasking. Tasking becomes very powerful when you have that goal in your mind. 4 rounds or 8 rounds or whatever it may be. Goal has to be there. That day's goal, that particular situation's goal. We all have a goal every day, 16 rounds. Now in this one sitting, how much I am going to do? Okay. So that is number one. You should fix whenever you start your japa, doesn't matter, even now or even when you are very advanced in your japa also. This is a common thing. Because your mind has to be dealt with. So you decide that I will do 4 rounds or I am going to do 16 rounds in one stretch. This is my japa time, I will finish. So step 1 is sadhya, what you want to achieve. Step 2 is chant come here, because you already learnt how to chant come here. Your mind, your trained mind, start chanting come hearing. When everything is peaceful, I could very easily chant in here, and it went on very easily, uninterruptedly. But real life every day is not like that. So some thoughts will be there, compelling thoughts will be there. That 6, 7, 8 kinds of traffic I talked about: lamentation, anchoring, plan making, urgency of this, urgency of that. All these things are going to disturb. What do we do about it? Now don't worry. I thought, Prabhu, concurrent chanting and hearing we have learnt with, thought the whole problem is solved. Yes, it is solved. But there's one small thing that you have to do. This is called a little tapasya you have to give for half a round or 1 round. Exactly the way you did your training round. That's all, nothing new. Even though you have trained yourself, you have to, let's say some emotional disturbance is there. Start your rounds. Your mind will go. What did you do during training? You applied the diamond command: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So initially the mind was going, out of 5 beats it was going 3 times out. Next 5 beats it will go out of maybe twice. Maybe next 20 minutes, 20 beats, because you are applying the diamond coat. Exactly what you did in the training, always very, very simple. One line I will tell you. Every day, whenever you chant your japa, first round you chant as if it's a training round. Now I will tell you, explain the reasons why it is. Very interesting. There's a science behind it. So, you have to start your japa session. You have to desire, first of all, our goal is very clear. I want 4 rounds, means I want uninterrupted association of the Lord. So therefore you have to pray to Srila Prabhupada and Nama Prabhu. Beg for their mercy. Then you should be determined to offer anchoring tapasya. Anchoring what? Anchoring the attention. There is a tapasya required to anchor the attention. Every day you require that. Because every day your mind, the traffic is different. If you are in the highway, you have forgotten everything, you found your time for this soulful japa session, YouTube session, nothing is disturbing you, you came and sat and you are listening to me. So this is, and then you are doing 1 round, practice round, so nicely you are doing. And naturally, this is a very, it's like driving in a highway. But it's good, that time you have learnt, you have trained your mind how to drive, how to turn the steering, how to clutch, brake, all those things you have learnt in the highway. Now you know how to drive. Now the way to deal with the traffic traffic analogy has its own limitation. The way you deal with this is by applying the diamond codes. Anytime the mind goes away, apply the diamond codes. Now this is not very smooth japa, no? It's called tapasya. Training was tapasya, no? Instead of having the bliss of uninterrupted attention, bead 1 to bead 108. We have to go through the tapasya. It will go away. I have to bring back. All this. Not susukham kartam avyam. Not very happily done. And happily means not very. It's a big job to bring back the mind. At least you have to. It's a self. You need self-control. So first round of japa you do like a training round. Training round, when you do your training round, mostly you see, you start off. You should start off with the loud chanting. If your mind is no traffic, peaceful, and all those things, no, you can start normally. According to the degree of circumstances and situations of your mind, you can chant louder and louder. And then you will see that you don't have to do much. 20 beats, 30 beats, 40 beats, you go. Your anchoring tapasya is required only for that. The tapasya for anchoring only 30-40 beats. After that, what happens? Immediately after that, the entire japa becomes blissfully or energy. Japa becomes energy giving. So there is a number of beats. It may be 30, 40, 50, and one mala. And that is different for different days, as I told you. Your anchoring tapasya may not be required at all on a very smooth day. But be prepared. Some other day, some disturbances are there in the mind. It all depends on the traffic in the mind. So you can, some traffic you can very easily stop. Please stop. Don't move now. After 2 hours, you can all drive your cars. Now you hold. Leave the highway for me. But some fellows will not listen. They will start coming into the road. So for that, you require what is called anchoring tapasya. I'm not complicating anything. And simply this anchoring tapasya is because we already have we do mindful japa, and we already say that I'm doing mindful japa, I'm doing soulful japa, and all those things. Then suddenly you see, Prabhu, what to do, Prabhu? All these lessons I went through, and then today my chanting was so bad. No soulful, no mindful came, no spiritful came, nothing. I was totally, all was, why? Yes, it can happen. Therefore, we should know the secret of the anchoring tapasya, or the warm-up round, or the warm-up beats. The first few beats of your japa are warm-up beats. For that, you have to, the technique is apply the diamond codes. What is anchoring tapasya? Now I'll very clearly hear this. This is very important. The anchoring tapasya is X number of beads of chanting consciously to hold the attention without going away anywhere. Zero attention leak. Conscious effort for tasking, uninterrupted chanting come hearing till there is zero attention leak. You will start. Your disturbance will come. No, you desire and determine that I want to bring the diamond command. Apply. You do not know. It may be 10 beats, 20 beats, 30 beats, 50 beats. With 50 beats, you don't need any more tapasya. Attention is locked. It happens, All this you can experiment. It happens. Attention gets locked and you are able to easily go with your self-energizing japa. Now up to 50 beats is not self-energizing. You have to put your energy to do the concurrent chanting and hearing. After that, you get energy for doing concurrent chanting come hearing. You still doing, not that you have put it into auto mode. You get so much energy that you like to chant and do. That is called Divya Kriya Karya Jnana Kriya Jnana Karya Cheshta. Kriya Karya Jnana Cheshta. Okay? Nothing, very simple. Don't think complicated. It is called doing, knowing, tasking, energy. The taste of that energy. Divine taste. Divine taste of doing the Nama, knowing the Nama, and tasking the Nama. This is called Divya Kriya Karya Cheshta Ruchi or Shakti. And the taste of that Shakti is called Ruchi. This we have discussed, and this was the major discovery with the gardener. Please don't forget that. The key thing that you have learnt is what? Finally, japa is done by the energy from the Nama. Nama gives energy in our heart. We want to do more and more and more and more we want to do. Okay. So, now this tapasya that you give, the initial tapasya that you give, is just like battery power in a car. When you start the car, is the engine running? No. When you start the car, you need to first, the engine piston, everything, the engine has to run. Then only it will fire. So, initially petrol is not running the engine. What is running the engine? Battery. Therefore, you have got something called a self-starter. When you press the self-starter, battery power will move the engine. That battery power will do what? Battery power will trigger the firing of the engine. Isn't it? The battery will move the pistons. Those engineers will know. The spark plug gives the spark. Fuel vapor goes inside the chamber. It fires. Have you observed when you turn the switch, ignition switch, goes for a tuck, it takes off. What happens? Engine has fired. Now the engine is running on the petrol and spark plug. On its own it's running. You don't need battery power. So basically, please understand, japa is susukam kartam avyayam. It is happily performed, delightfully performed when there is this engine fires. What is that? The Lord has to, the Nama Avatara has to, the Shakti Avesha Nama will induce this Shakti in us. That is called a divine doing, knowing, tasking taste. Then one may ask, Lord is all merciful, no, why not from bead one? Why couldn't he come and give me that power inside my heart? I won't be disturbed at all. No, Krishna is saying, okay, you have learnt everything, but please show your desire and determination you want it. Let me see. Today you are in a very disturbed situation due to guna, kala and karma. Your atmosphere, internal atmosphere is very disturbed. Let me see how determined you are for my association. You show me by your anchoring tapasya that you are still determined. And then when I see that you are determined, like this, I'll start releasing. Engine will fire. Engine will fire. And then your japa will, nothing can stop. You don't need battery power to hold the attention. Otherwise, let us say you don't give this chesta. Lot of disturbed thoughts. You chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Some thoughts comes. Because you are not now trying to train yourself. You are thinking you already trained yourself. So some thought comes, it goes away. Then again you bring it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again it goes away. So what happens is, because you are not in a training mode, you are not trying to bring it back also. So you are going on like that. Your whole day, what happens? Your whole 16 malas of japa will be only bits and bits of attention spans. Like this. Nothing is continuous. There is no continuous attention at all. If there is no uninterrupted attention, what happens? The cumulative effect is very less. And ultimately, if the engine doesn't fire, what happens? Your entire 16 rounds is on battery power. So much so that you get tired and you're afraid to touch your japamala tomorrow. Because such a bad experience you had. It's such an austere thing. But anyway, I told my Guru, I have to do it. And you will do it. I mean, for that Krishna and Guru will give you credit. You have to do it, whether it's tasty or not. Like Prabhupada says, quality or no quality, first quantity. 16 rounds you do. But here is a secret. You don't have to do that. You have to first, for that what you have to do is, already I explained. First round, you have to give anchor and tapasya exactly as your training round. So the engine power is what? Our battery power is the anchoring tapasya. It's our own doing, knowing and tasking power. Engine power is Divya Kriya Karya Jnana Chesta Shakti. It is a Chesta Shakti, Atma Chesta Shakti. Divya Atma Chesta Shakti. Brought in by Shakti Avashanama. It is divine energy. It's a taste of doing and knowing. You want to do more. You want to do and know more. You want to do and know more. Do and know more. That is it. Now, threshold. Threshold number is what is the threshold number? It is not fixed every day. The number of beats of japa that requires anchoring tapasya. That means till you lock the attention, how many beats are required? Every day is different. Of course, every day, if you have same situation, is different. Same, it will be same. But if you have some real serious, emotional conflicts in mind, or some emergency in mind, all these kind of things, and whole external life situation is very disturbed, then your anchoring number will be more. Not 10 beats, 20 beats, 30 beats. Just like now, if you do Prabhupada's, our training round, anchoring tapasya was hardly anything, because only 30-40 days you have done and nothing to disturb. You are sitting just for that, and you can do it peacefully, and you are able to do it without much anchoring tapasya. Of course, for those who are just started training, for them, it requires, mind will go here and there, and it requires connection, energizing by the golden commands every now and then. So, how many factors determine the threshold number? What is your immediate life situation running in the mind? What are the emotional disturbances at the time of starting japa? plus all those different things that I have listed yesterday, lamentation, hankering, planning, speculating, all kinds of thinking activities. To cross all that, different days there are different compelling thoughts. Many times it's urgent, sometimes it's important, sometimes urgent and important. But for the mind, even important is urgent. It just takes it and then everything is urgent. Japa doesn't get that urgency. Next. That's all. Okay. So this is just basic concept I have explained to you now. The Lord is very kind, and if we are trying to show the first quote. Krishna sees if Krishna sees that someone is sincerely chanting Hare Krishna, he will help. He is within everyone and he can understand whether one is sincere or not. Please read carefully. Krishna helps a sincere devotee internally and externally. Internally, he helps us Paramatma by giving intelligence from within. Dhabdami buddhi yogam tam. Externally, he helps as his representative, the spiritual master. Basically, the Lord is inside, Lord within as Paramatma helps the sincere devotee to do uninterrupted chanting come hearing, concurrent chanting come hearing. How does he help? He helps by infusing this divine energy in our heart. Our heart likes the taste of it. One more chant, one more hearing, one more chanting, one more hearing, one more chanting, one more hearing, one more chanting, one more hearing. Likes to drink the name. Drink more and more, one more. And that is, when does that happen? When does the engine start? During japa, first is self-starter. That means your battery power. Showing your sincerity, really I want to start the car and I want to drive the car. If you don't even have desire to drive the car, you don't get into the car, don't put the switch on, the car is not going to fire. Of course, it's all impersonal examples, but still it gives you a good idea. Krishna is etamam prabodhante tam state bhajamiham. Your mind is so disturbed. I don't see that you are today you are desiring and determined to get my uninterrupted association. Looks like this external situation has become very important for you more than me, and you are giving your attention to that. I have come before you and you are giving attention to that. No. He sees someone is sincerely chanting Hare Krishna, he will help. Then Krishna will. How our anchoring tapasya that we give for the starting, when we start our japa, is an expression of our desire to Paramatma that I really want your uninterrupted association. All the more I want, because all these disturbances have come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Don't depend on what training you had and all. You go as per the training module. Okay? So anchoring tapasya is not something new. Anchoring tapasya means nothing. Go to zero. Square one. In square one, what did you do? Use the golden commands and chant it. When the mind went away, use a diamond command and anchored the mind back into chanting. Only difference between a golden command and diamond command is diamond command says chant loudly. Instruction is the same. Give kriya chesta. and Jnana Chesta. Chant loudly. So this is very interesting. So we should get used to this very nicely. Huh? That's why this example also is very, very, very good. Self-starter. Do you know that if you have sufficient battery power, whatever little battery the battery power moved the pistons, it is in neutral, so it doesn't need much power. Have you seen sometimes you put in gear and you turn the ignition, the vehicle also jumps, it moves, and then it goes off. Why? Battery power is not enough to move the car. But technically, yes, if it's a battery driven vehicle, it can run it can turn the engine, it can run, it can drive directly, it can do, but it will drain away. So every day, any day we chant, take our beats. Today you are anchoring tapasya, maybe 5 beats, 10 beats, but go into a training mode. As you go into a training mode, it switches over because attention gets locked. You will actually feel that energy is coming. Then you do not want to stop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. You do not want to stop. It is tasty to drink more and more, more and more, more and more. So that is one quote of Prabhupada. Another quote of Prabhupada. Now this is again connected to, just I'll read the quote. This is from Rupa Goswami's Sri Padhyavali, verse 30. O Lord, just as a miser continually collects, counts and remembers his money, the same way let us continually collect, count and remember your holy names. See, this is a direct quote from Rupa Goswami. I told you greed. Take inside. Keep drinking. What is the example I gave in my training module for tasking? I said, like taking a sip. Every chanting is like a sip of a drink. That means you go, drink means something you send inside. What is that? Shakti Avashanama. Count, collect, accumulation. I said happiness of accumulation, accomplishment, like bank account. Collect, count, and remember your holy names. That means even count. Count means what? Don't lose one also. Take it inside. Somebody gives 2,000 rupee bundle, one note is missing. No, I am not happy. I want the whole bundle. It's a beautiful quote here. Okay. So like a miser collects. So similarly you collect. This great opportunity, human form of life. Every nama that you can collect, every concurrent chanting come hearing that you collect is to your eternal credit. Eternal credit. So it's only by the mercy of the holy name that we will be able to now see the role of Divya Chesta Shakti. If that is not there, you will have very tireful 2-hour chanting, battery run chanting, not engine run drive, battery run drive. So even if you have learnt mindful, spiritful, soulful japa, every day success of that depends upon the Divya Chesta Ruchi that Lord gives. So never become proud. The Lord knows, yes, you have trained yourself. Very good. You have followed my pure devotee's instruction. Chant and hear the very name. Definitely. You do that, I will definitely, without fail, I will give you the Divya Chesta Ruchi. I will give you, he says so. at least we should recognize that it is because of him my attention is anchored. That means Nama is giving me the Shakti for Nama Seva. Because I desire the Nama Seva of that quality, therefore Nama Prabhu is giving the Shakti for soulful Japa, for mindful Japa. Mind is crazy. Only if there is that Divya Shakti, then we can control the mind. Especially in this Kali Yuga. You need the Nama Shakti to keep the Nama on the Japa. Next quote. The time out. Yeah. The Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also simply an address to the Lord and His energy. So to anyone who is constantly engaged in addressing the Lord and His energy, we can imagine how much the Supreme Lord is obliged. It is impossible for the Lord to ever forget such a devotee. It is clearly stated in this verse that anyone who addresses the Lord immediately attracts the attention of the Lord, who always remains obliged to Him. See, whatever it may be, if you sincerely call out His name and chant and struggle for soulful, mindful Japa, the Lord will reward us by giving this the taste for uninterrupted Japa. Uninterrupted tasking of concurrent chanting come hearing is not a small achievement. It's a very big achievement, and it can happen only by the flow of Divya Chesta Ruchi from the Shakti Avashanama in reciprocation to our sincerity and deep desire to associate with the Lord uninterruptedly and not want an association of the Lord more than anything else. That is very important. So many things, so many problems may come, all that. No, most important, Krishna is most important. Krishna himself is before me. Most important. Everything else is secondary. And now I sat 4 rounds, I said everything else is secondary. Uninterrupted, mala after mala, bead after bead, mala after mala, chanting come hearing, drink the hearing, bead after bead, drink the hearing. No thinking, only drinking. When you drink something, you don't think, no? That is why this analogy is drinking. Only thing this, you drink through the ears. In the other drinking also, as it goes in, you will feel good. You will taste that sip, Similarly, each drinking, with ahlada, you take it. With ahlada. When you sip, is just like sipping. When you sip, when you sip, that time you feel like it is like chanting. You sip delightfully. Oh, I am taking in something very tasty. So chant with delight, hear with relish. Let one by one Nama go inside. As simple as that Japa, no thinking at all. Do you need to teach a person to think how to eat? No, it's about doing and tasting, doing and knowing. That's all. Do and know. Just eat, enjoy the taste. Thinking is not required for eating. Similarly, for Japa, thinking is not required because you're taking the Nama inside, you're sending the Nama inside. As simple as that. That is why Prabhupada says even a child can do this yoga. Because he's sending inside. Okay, so some questions I will take now. I'll continue the same subject tomorrow. Detail gave you an introduction, and please read the module, part 1 and part 2. It's worth talking one more session on this because it will help. After having learnt all that, All this I told you, this is about a very practical thing about daily japa. You have to, it should be part of your thing. Two factors, golden quote of Prabhupada, chant and hear the chant. And you are advised not to look around when chanting outside. We have improved my chanting tremendously. Very good. Next. In concurrent chanting and hearing with attention, Kriya and Jnana Cheshta and attention belong to the soul. Then what is the mind exactly doing? Mind is a transporter of these energies. In the material world, we act through the mind and the senses. So where is the Nama? Nama is manifest outside on my tongue. So how do I connect from my soul up to the Nama? Is through the mechanism of mind and body. So this mind and body transports my chesta. That is why body also just does chesta. Gross chesta, subtle chesta, Atma chesta. Okay. So my Atma chesta is pushing Sukshma chesta. Sukshma chesta is pushing the Jada chesta, my senses. Doing and knowing is transported there. The energies. Mind is a transporter of everything. Mind is practically, it's like acting like a soul only in this material world. Means everything. It will transport desire. It will transport free will. It will transport wherever you want. It will transport. So that is all. Whatever background feelings you are experiencing also belongs to the soul. Yes, background feelings belong to the soul. They're only triggered by the subconscious mind. But actually when it triggered, if it has to become feelings, you have to be there. That means soul has to be there. So background feelings are the feelings of the soul. Sometimes I feel hard that one day tasking is possible, other day it's hard, don't feel, it's so happening. Please help me in this. Now you have come. Today's module discussion has answered you this. One day tasking is possible very easily, another day tasking is not possible. You have to apply the principle of giving, anchoring tapasya for the first round. Over after that. Every day, second round onwards, it will be same like every day. You gave example of pen. When we say pen, we immediately think of pen's form. How do we do the same for Nama Prabhu? No, you don't have to think. That is why. Automatically one day, Nama's identity will manifest in our consciousness. Because in that Shabda, Nama Prabhu's concept that he is a supreme Nama of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. If you ask the Nama, who are you? Nama will reply, I am the name of the Supreme Lord Krishna. He will reply. That is his identity. So, that his identity will manifest. He is the sweet name of the Lord. And the name of the Lord is very dear to the Lord. These are all very absolute things. Krishna likes his name. He is in love with his name. Krishna is in love with his name. So if we are in love with his name, Krishna will be in love with us. Krishna is in love with his name. Yesterday you mentioned about the significance of attentively chanting first round. What I understand is thinking noise may interrupt us in any round. What is so significant about first round? No, at that time, anytime you can go off track again, but you have to, what you did in the anchoring tapasya, you have to apply. Again to get back into the thing. Isn't it? Suppose you applied your anchoring tapasya and you are going on second and third round, fourth round, fifth round. Suddenly, something more disturbing has come to you. It will go away. It depends on the pull. Now again you have to apply anchoring tapasya, which may be only maybe 10 beats or 15 beats or 20. Once you are trained up, 20 beats more than enough. One round and all is not required also. 20 beats you chant loudly. you are again. So interruption can happen in any round. But normally, I am not talking about external disturbances. When you begin your chanting, more or less, it's okay. Means you handled what is there in today's emergency. Suddenly some other thought which you had forgotten and very serious it may come to you. Then you need to do this thing. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I should have done that. After you are given anchoring tapasya, after you have got into uninterrupted chanting, suddenly that comes up. And yet you tell, what is it? Doesn't matter, after 2 hours I can deal with it, even if I have forgotten. But then you are already broken, your trance you are broken, your samadhi you are broken. So immediately again apply the tapasya and again go into samadhi. While applying the diamond code, okay, how is anchoring tapasya related to tasking? Because tasking is an impulse between the bead and anchoring tapasya is nothing but it is a tapasya that you have to take, very consciously apply the tasking, consciously apply concurrent chanting. What did you do during training period? You consciously trained your mind. First chanting, come hearing, chanting, then you started training your mind, adding tasking also. So all that training, whatever you do, so in other words, you have to give conscious effort. That's what. Sum and substance is very simple. Anchoring tapasya means you have to give conscious effort. Same. The process is same. Chanting, come hearing, tasking. Chanting, come hearing, tasking. Chanting, come hearing, tasking. Chanting, come hearing, tasking. Tasking between the beats, on the beat, chanting, come hearing. Then tasking. On the beat, chanting, come hearing. Then tasking. On the beat, chanting, come hearing, tasking. Similarly, background mind. Chanting means delight. Hearing means relish. Tasking means enthusiasm with delight and hope. Like that. While applying diamond code, does it discontinue the building of tasking delight? If so, then how to exponentially experience delight building uninterruptedly? Yes, it will little affect. Every day you won't be successful. Every time you won't be successful. Because of external disturbances, not applying task. Diamond code is not discontinuing here. Diamond code is trying to bring back your tasking this thing. Okay. Does it discontinue the building of tasking delight? No, it doesn't discontinue. Your mind has discontinued and diamond code will bring it back. So see it as a positive thing. Do you want to be permanently distracted by something, or one particular command is coming, which will you anchor you back into your samadhi? If so, then how to exponentially experience delight building? One day you may not be able to do, every other day you do no. Exponentially experience the building, the building up of uninterrupted. Go to the highway. That means early morning, get up at 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Day has not begun, nothing has begun. Oh, loudly go, stand, finish your rounds on the highway. You will see exponential build-up of uninterrupted tasking. How to have unflinching faith in chanting, that whatever happens in life, I will chant 16 rounds. You should have unflinching faith. Padam padam yad vipadam. This material world is so dangerous. You should think, do I have a choice? When you are in the ocean drowning, do you need any other reason? So you should know that you are drowning in the material world if you are not chanting 16 rounds. Then you will have unflinching faith. So you will not jump off the ship. If I jump off the ship, if I stop my 16 rounds, I am in the samsara. So fear should be there. Once a time I felt so joyful to chant the holy name and enjoy so much. With tears came from my eyes at the time of japa, but slowly I can't be able to take such a taste. What is the reason? I have explained a lot about this. You please read the modules. It is all Lord's Kripa. Just to increase your this thing, you have to, a day will come when every bead of yours will give you tears, no? So Lord is showing now, you have to now purify yourself. Not that don't jump so fast, don't be so fast. I gave you the taste. Krishna, Nama Prabhu is saying, I gave you the taste. So that now you do what you have to do. Read the story of Prahlad, read the story of Narada Muni, read the Leelas of Dhruva Maharaj, what the Lord did to both of them. He gave them darshan and they were so enlivened that then that became a taste for them. Yes, for bhakti. Similarly, this tears that came from your eyes is a taste that Nama is given you for a moment. But even though you are not ready, he has given. So don't think because I chanted in a particular way, I got this taste. Narada did the same thing. Narada said, okay, I did some meditation this way, that way. Krishna came before me. I was so happy. Then Krishna disappeared. Then Narada sat again, tried. Oh, the same exercise he tried. Then the Lord spoke to him. The voice spoke to him. Divine voice he heard. No, I gave you the taste. But now you practice Krishna consciousness. Purify your heart. Then you one day you can get 24 hours this taste. Now I have given you a sample taste. So these kind of experience that we get is simply revelation. It's Krishna is very merciful to you. Nama Prabhu is very merciful to you. And thank Nama and now take it seriously, says Soulful Japa. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada. We'll meet again tomorrow.